Mack, why was it so important to get this done?
I felt like right now, our program has a lot of momentum. Certainly, having an inside look and working with Coach Rhule and the staff for the last, 2.5 years, just really believe in the process and where the program's headed and the trajectory. And so just felt like this was the right time. And I think, for it to be the right time, both parties have to have, willing hearts. And I really felt like that was the case, that, Coach and I had some brief conversation about it during the summer. And then when he returned back for 2 days, we really, sat down one-on-one and had a great conversation about not just the program, but about him and Julie and his family. And then Amy and I, my wife, and Matt and Julie were able to spend some time together and really talk through this and what it's about. And I think anytime you do a contract extension, man, I hope it's much more than just years and dollars, right? It's got to be about belief in a place, about being comfortable, about being on the same page in terms of vision, where you're headed, right? And so I just think all of those things aligned. And bottom line, we know that Matt Rhule is an elite coach, and other people know that, and we've got past experience, right? And people are going to continue to knock on our doors or on his door, and so trying to do this and do this in a proactive way also made great sense.
Matt talked about it, that the message that it might send to recruits, the message it might send to current players about just, he's here for the long haul.
Yeah, I think it speaks to stability. I think it speaks to, again, belief in the program, belief in the institution. And this idea of preparing champions for life and our four pillars. Matt and his program really embody that and have embraced that. And I know for our current players, right? I know this meant a lot to them. And you think about, not only is it about Coach Rhule, but it's about the staff with him. He's got great people with him. And, I've been doing this now for 20 years, and there's something to be said for coming to work each and every day and enjoying the people that you're in the trenches with. And I do. I enjoy being in the trench with Coach Rhule. We enjoy being in the trench with Coach Rhule. We enjoy being in the trenches with his staff. And again, I said it in the press release. I really believe that Matt and Julie and his family were called here to Waco, like I think President Livingstone was. Like I think I talk about it like Amy and I were, right? And so to be able to put this together and provide some stability, I think is really, really good.
Mack, is what he's done just affirmation of maybe what you saw or thought when you first hired him? What he's done the last couple of years.
Yeah, it is, and I pause a little bit because I'm going back to when we hired him, and I think the immediate thing that came to my mind was has anything surprised me in terms of what he's done or how he's built it, and not really. It's what I expected, right? I expected him to take his time and the staff take their time in terms of building a foundation. Here's what we're about. Here's how we're going to move forward. All of those things, and he's done that. And the wins, I think will continue. I think the progression. So none of it surprises me. It's probably exactly what I expected. And you know, we have high expectations. And Bryce, when you talked about what it means to recruits as well, you know, I believe we can build this program to where when you think about the national programs, the top 5 national programs, Baylor can be listed amongst those 5, right? We know a school, and I don't mind mentioning them because I have great respect for them and how they did it, but Clemson. It was 7 years, I believe, before, you know, they went to a CFP. So it takes some time, right? It takes some consistency. It takes some stability. It takes resources, right? We need to continue to pour into the program and build our resources. But I really believe that that's where this program is going, and that's the vision for the program, and certainly believe Coach Rhule is the one to help us get there.
You talked about it a little bit. You kind of touched on it. Just obviously the on-field success, but how important is that component that the fans don't see, the day-to-day, just kind of the operations of how things are going to something like this?
Yeah, it's how important is it? It's everything, right? If you don't do that exceptionally well, then I'm not sure you really build a program. If you don't do that exceptionally well, then I don't think that it translates into winning as many games as you possibly can. And we said this when we first arrived. We will never ever use any student athlete for their athletic ability. If you come here and you're going to be a student athlete at Baylor University, everything counts, everything matters. We're going to push you in every aspect of your life to be better. And I think if we can continue to do that, then the results on the field take care of themselves.
Baylor United being the focus, both not just within all the athletic department, sports and things like that, but really to the greater Waco area as well. Everyone knows the past, and the past is the past, but to have a coach like Matt Rhule not only buy into Baylor, but buy into Waco, what do you hope that people, you know, take away from that and see that, you know, it really is fully moving forward, and that he didn't just buy in to fix it and then leave, but buy in to fix it and stay?
I think one, it speaks to, and all of us that have lived here, and I've only been here 3 years, but certainly those that have been here longer, Waco's a great community. It's a place of caring people, and again, there is a difference between lifestyle and quality of life. And I really believe for Coach and for Julie and their family, for my family, for a lot of us, this is about quality of life. And Waco, the Waco community offers a great quality of life. And the fact that Matt and Julie really see that, really feel that, and embrace it, I think speaks to Waco.
Matt, you mentioned how much what it does for Matt Rhule. How is Baylor protected? Knowing it's a compliment if others continue to come at him like they have before, how have you protected yourself?
You know, I think you're speaking to things like buyout, those things, and I'm going to answer that maybe 2 different ways. I think, you know, philosophically, right? Just philosophically, take Coach Rhule out of it. Just philosophically, you never want a buyout, right? To keep somebody at your place, right? If somebody has decided that for them and for their family, it's best to move on to another opportunity, to hold them hostage, to stay there at your place because of a buyout, I don't think that makes sense for anybody, right? Now, with that said, a buyout's important, right? It's important for if that person decides that, hey, you know what, my family and I feel like it's best to move on or go somewhere else, that we're protected financially in terms of transition, in terms of attracting, next person, all of those things. And so, I would just say probably in general that the buyout is aggressive, but not necessarily because we said, hey, we're gonna do it because we're gonna prohibit him from leaving, because to me that's not the right mentality.